Hey everyone, Ace of Clay here and welcome to another video. If you are new here, I'm a sculptor and every week I make a new sculpture. In today's video, we're customizing a Hydroflask. So it's been brought to my attention by Nerdy Crafter that Hydroflasks are a thing right now. They're trendy and they're the first thing you see when you walk into a sporting goods store. They're basically $40 water bottles that keep their contents hot or cold for 24 hours. This video is not sponsored. The only reason why I buy one of these things is to turn it into an alien for your entertainment. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna turn this thing into an alien. Then really quick before we get started, I do have a couple things to say about the upcoming COPPA regulations coming to YouTube from the FTC, so stay tuned until the end of the video for my thoughts on that lovely situation. Now without further ado, let's transform a Hydroflask. Alright, here is our Hydroflask. This is the 21 ounce one, and you'd think for like 35 bucks this thing would be dishwasher safe, but it's not. But that's okay because I don't plan on drinking out of it anytime soon. So anyway, let's get started with our project here. I'm gonna make this look like some sort of alien pod, like Hermaeus Mora type of deal, so we're gonna paint the backs of these cabochons to create some cool looking alien type eyes, and I'm just anchoring them on some clay here so they stay in place when they're drying, and I'm just painting the backs of them this nice color shift green color. And you can get as fancy as you want with this step. I'm just going to stick to the green. And while those are drying, we're just going to start covering our Hydroflask in some Super Sculpey Original. I got these nice even sheets by running my clay through my pasta maker on the thickest setting. And as always, all of the materials and tools that I use in this video are listed in the description box below, along with my affiliate links if you want to purchase anything. And then as you can see here, I'm not worried about it being perfectly smooth because I'm going to end up texturing the crap out of this thing. Okay, then once it's covered, let's check out those finished cabochons. Those are looking nice. Time to add them to the flask. Let's start with the big ones. I'm just adding a little bit of clay and then pressing that onto the surface. And then to further integrate the cabochon, I'm just adding a nice little snake of clay and blending the one side in with everything else. And then to give this a little more dimension, I'm just adding another piece of clay here. And I am literally making this up as I go, so I have nothing planned, I'm just kind of running with it. Now let's add some more cabochons. And if you're wondering, the cabochon sizes that I'm using for this project are 40mm, 24mm, 16mm, and 12mm. I do have affiliate links for all of these down in the description box. Then once all the cabochons are added, it's looking pretty good. I think we're at a good point. Now let's add some tentacles, because why not? And this one that I'm starting with is a little too large for my liking. I kind of want to add smaller ones, so we're just going to set that aside and make some smaller ones. And I'm positioning these so they look like they are sort of branching off the cabochons. I thought it was a nice touch, a little sunburst effect, if you will. Then once the first couple tentacles are down, I'm just going in with my medium ball stylus to add some texture. I'm just creating these little lines around the edge and having them sort of meet with the other tentacles, kind of giving it this weird aquatic effect. A project like this, or a design like this, is great for beginners because it's really hard to mess up. There's really no mistakes. You can kind of, I guess, make a mistake in a sense and then work with it to look good, and you can just do whatever you want. There's nothing, there's no rules you gotta follow. There's no armature. You're just sort of doodling with the clay, making a cool design, and then when you're done, you'll have something that you're pretty happy with. And it was at this point where I started to get more confident and happy with how this thing was looking. And now I have a clear direction for the rest of the project. Now we're just going to refine the edges around the cabochons with my Explorer tool. And then we're going to go in with an avocado to texture the tentacles. I love the varying heights of the bumps on an avocado for this, and it creates an effect that is exactly what I'm looking for. Now let's keep going with those grooves. And then to break up the design and give it a little more interest, I'm going to start incorporating a different texture. I'm just creating this sort of diamond-shaped lump that I'm going to attach to the flask and blend the edges in with everything else. And then trypophobia warning, if you don't like holes, don't watch this next part. And then I'm going to go in with my large and medium ball stylus to create this nice corally texture. And that's looking pretty good. I'm glad I decided to incorporate another texture. Now we're just going to repeat this process and do this on a couple other areas. Not bad. We're getting somewhere. Now let's keep going and get this thing completely textured. Now for some more avocado action. Then for the final step before we bake this thing, I'm going to apply a very generous layer of clay softener, brushing this onto the surface to smooth everything out. All of the details in this thing are very deep, and I'm not worried about losing any of them with the softener, so I'm really going in there to make everything nice and smooth. And there we go, it's ready to bake. Then once it's baked and completely cooled down, let's do a quick inspection. And now it's time for paint. All of the paints that I use in this video are Folk Art brand matte acrylics. And I'm going to start by painting the entire surface black. If you're wondering why I didn't use black clay, it's because I didn't know if I was going to want to keep that fleshy color or if I wanted to paint it metallic, and I decided to paint it metallic, so we're going to paint it black first because metallics always look better over black. And I will be using these awesome color shift metallics by Folk Art to paint the rest. First I'm going to go in with some blue violet flash with a fairly large round brush, and then follow this with some purple flash. And I'm just going to sort of blend the colors together where they meet. I'm not washing my brush in between colors. I want it to sort of blend together and create this nice oil slick finish. Now to switch things up a little bit, I'm going to go in with a little emerald flash. Thought this was a nice complement to the purple, and I think it'll look really good with the eyes. Now I'm just going in and dry brushing some emerald flash over all of the texture just to give it a little more dimension. Then for the final and most satisfying step, in my opinion, I'm going to take a toothpick and scratch off all of the excess paint that got on the cabochons. Love this step. And it's done! Our alien monster Hydroflask customization is complete. Let me know what you think in the comments. And that's a wrap. I really hope you like how the Hydroflask came out. I have to say I think it's an improvement. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now let's talk about the FTC thing. Now as far as these FTC rules go, I'm not going to go into incredible detail because I know you've probably heard something about it already. But if you haven't, basically new changes are coming to YouTube in January that will affect thousands of creators. The FTC will be penalizing creators that create content that they deem as child-directed. Even if the video is not intended for children, if it has things like slime, doll redesigns, arts and crafts, cartoon characters, animated characters, family vlogging, upbeat soundtracks, bright colors, the list goes on and on, it can be considered for kids. How will channels be affected? Well, the biggest thing will be the removal of personalized ads that play on the video. Removal of these ads will result in a 60 to 90% drop in revenue for creators. Like Philip DeFranco said, imagine coming to work in January and your boss tells you, hey, we're gonna start paying you 60 to 90% less and there's nothing you can do about it. So anyway, as if that's not bad enough, all creators are now required to label all of their videos as for or not for kids. And even if you do label your video as not for kids and the FTC still thinks it is for kids, they can fine you $42,000 per video. In my opinion, art-related videos, wholesome videos, and family-friendly content isn't just for kids. I am barely scratching the surface on this, but there is a ton more information out there. I have linked linked several resources down below if you want to check those out. The FTC is currently receiving comments, and I would like to invite each of you to make your voice heard and write to the FTC. I have included the link below and also a document filled with talking points if you're not sure what to say. If enough people speak up, this can be changed. I'm also providing a link to the change.org petition if you'd like to sign that as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and then follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Ace of Clay. Join my Facebook group, Aces of Clay, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.